Welcome back to What Arty Noobs with General Disturbance. This is an Object 140. It's a Soviet Tier 10 medium tank, and it's located on the northeast spawn of Highway under the command of Evil Viking. Battle has started and he's headed to the west. He's got a nice group of tanks going there with him, so he's going to have plenty of company. Now the new highway map, the HD model, is much better than the previous version, mainly because there's a lot more cover to play with. There's more destructible scenery, and it's just generally more fun. The buildings are up here in the west corner, the northwest corner, look more real, and we've got a T-49 there over to the south. Gets a nice hit in there. It's got a 100mm gun, the U8TS. He's got 264 penetration and 320 alpha. T-49 keeps popping up. He's doing his job as a scout, but he's going to die very shortly if he's not careful. He's still more than one shot, but yep. Pops out again. Oh, that one went right over his engine bay. He was so lucky there. I'm not sure which way round he's turned actually, but we've lost sight of him temporarily, and that can be dangerous for the T-49. Or is he dead? Oh, there's a dead Sheridan. No, that T-49 is still there. It's just unspotted. So we've gone into the bushes as well. There he is. And we know which way round he is now. And, oh, that's a Batchat. Sorry, I've got it wrong. A Batchat came up to help the T-49, but we've got to hit into him. 300 hit points. We've got a bunch of tanks off. They're over a ridgeline, so they can't harm us at the moment. But we've got to watch out for them, just in case they decide to get some courage and go over the ridgeline. There's the Batchat again. Let's come back into view. Yeah, he's decided. Oh, this is dangerous. They are now poking over the ridgeline, and so he's got to watch out because, yeah, he might be on the receiving end of a shot from that STB. So he's taken his focus off the T-49 and the Batchat altogether now. And just quickly flicking back to see, can he get the shot into the Batchat? Now. Oh, good shot. Right into the turret. This is really difficult work. Side of the turret. Beautiful. It's a low roll though. Remember, 320 alpha. Can you get another shot in? Oh, he's going to be exposing himself, but no, that one didn't work. There's the T-49. He's pulled behind the structure, the tower. Oh, yes, that worked. Again, it was a low roll. There's the STRV 103, and no, he doesn't get a shot in. Didn't even hit it. Right, this is where it gets dangerous. Yeah, unfortunately, the Striv's now paying attention to him. He needs to pull back. He lost 380 hit points off that shot. There's the Leopard. Okay. Making a good dash. No, misses. Progetto took a hit as well. There's the Striv. Striv keeps popping back below the line. And unfortunately now that Progetto is actually getting in the way. We don't want to be in a position where we're going to get hit. Oh, no. AMX-30 missed again. Went over the top. Now he's using HE at the moment. And the alpha on HE is 420 if he can get a pen. Obviously, if it doesn't pen, it's still going to do module damage to the enemy. In fact, I actually like using HE on some of my heavies if I can't get a pen on a decent weak spot. Oh, and there's the T-49, 244. Ouch. But the T-49's pulled away, and that may be because he was receiving fire from elsewhere. He's running back. He is the one shot now. Yeah, so I don't think we have to worry about the T-49. But we do need to worry about that Striv and also the AMX. AMX keeps poking up. Oh, we got a good one in there. 142. Must have connected with the roof of the vehicle. There's the Striv. He's in the distance now. He's pulled back a long way. Yeah, he's over that ridgeline, and he's very, very long range. And of course, he did fire, but then pulled back immediately afterwards. I think that's shoot and scoot, and he gets another one into the roof of the AMX-30. Is he there? He's at virtually maximum view range, so you can't see him until you're up long enough to actually... There he is, yeah, and he bounced around from the Striv, fired one back, almost in response. He's only got 4 rounds of HE left, though. I think they can move up now because the enemy have pulled back to a certain extent. It's just that Striv, and the Striv keeps putting back after he shoots. And there's that's a kill on the AMX-30, and the Striv takes a round at last. Only 136, but there's the weapon trigger. Oh, he gets a round in for 396. That's a good one. Still a low roll. Misses the Striv again. One more round of HE left on the Striv, and yes! 30 hit points, but it doesn't kill him. It's 118 on the hip, but he's left him on 30, so he's a one-shot for anyone who can touch him. You can even nudge him, and that will be enough to kill him. Right, he's slowing things down just for a second. He's using standard APCR again. No premium rounds. That Striv keeps popping up. There's the weapon trigger. Oh, he's gone. The Striv's popping up for another shot. No, pulls down again. Yeah, I think they can move up now. I don't think there's too much of a worry here about pulling up. And in fact, actually, it put pressure on the Striv to pull back, because the closer they get, the more likely they're going to get the hits. That T-49 is sort of like guarding from the back. Now I'm wondering, are they returning back to their own cap area because there's been an infiltration? Has any of the other enemy team managed to make it back to their cap? Well, not as far as I can tell. The 121 seems to be doing a good job guarding in the middle. Oh, that was a bounce from the Striv. Striv's still there. You can see pop up and look for him. He's not there, but he is there. He's just outside view range. There's the 50. Yes, nice round into the side of him. 341 high roll. Trying to get another shot, but he's pulled back behind cover. There's the Striv again. Pulls up and no, misses on that occasion. Again, the thing that's working in the Striv's favour is it's at very long range, and because of his angled armour, the shell is not going through. It's some of the angles it's bouncing off, or just missing, or going over the top altogether. Now he should be able to overmatch the roof of the Striv. Should be able to. But he's a very difficult target at long range. Right, well, everyone's returning because they've lost the city, and that means the enemy is going to be moving into our cap area, and they are starting to lose or get damage or take damage, because that 121's just taken a few rounds. So they're going to defend from the back of the cap area. There's first enemy, the E50. Now this is where the HD map comes into its own. These buildings look so much more realistic from the old version. Our Striv 103 is actually doing a defensive role. He's actually sitting a little further back there, aiming towards the enemy cap area, just in case they come across the field. Can't see that E50, but we know he's around. Trying to use the ridgeline creatively to provide cover as we pop up. Don't want to go into the bushes, because if the enemy does spot us, he's going to put holes in us straight away. But Evil Viking's got 2,856 hit points of damage so far, and he bounces one off the E50. He's also got 2196 of spotting assistance and 1560 blocked. Right, that 1390 is coming around. Tactically, they've got to worry what's behind them. Oh, good round there. Now, this 4502 is going to be a bit of a problem as well because he's being hit from two different directions at once now. Going for the cupola and... oh, no, doesn't get it through but does critical damage. Trying to aim. The cupolas on the 4502 are very, very narrow. Very, very thin indeed to hit. E50's coming round and... he went for the tracking shot instead, trying to go for the lower plate. He can shoot underneath that silo. Again, trying to go for the cupola, and no, bounces off. E50 comes out. Oh, ouch, that hurt. 435. Now, can he go for the lower plate again? No, and he did take it around into the tracks from the STB. But the STB is out the game. That was a kill shot. There's only 4 of them left against 5 of the enemy. They got most of the north of the map is theirs, but the thing is that the enemy is still trying to encroach on the cap. Type 4 heavy. No, doesn't get through. He's only got 18 rounds of APCR left. He needs to get something done. He needs to move. One of them's in the cap. Oh, bounced around from the T-49. Tries a manual shot and gets the kill on the T-49. That gets rid of one nuisance, and they're now even on the scores. Nope, can't get that one through. I think he actually fired into the base of the tower. Difficult to get the shots. And again, it bounces off the cupola. This is really difficult. You can imagine the frustration. You're down to 15 rounds. The enemy's capping. You know that if you drive in, you're going to get hit by other tanks that are, as well as the one that's capping. He's going to try and get the Type 4 from the cupola. And yes, he gets around in. 318. Can he finish off the Type 4? Trying to get shots with that 4502 is still a problem. No, doesn't get it. It must be the E50 that's in the cap. Oh, the Type 4's gone down. Okay, so now he can make a move. He's pushing up to try and get to the cap. He has to go in. And he gets a reset. Now he can get behind the E50. Tracked him. Oh, the E50 gets killed by the 103. And the 4502 now is trying to get behind the wreck as well. So they're trying to use the wreck as cover from each other. Side scraping on the wreck. But it stops the 4502 from capping. And it's just the 4502 left on the enemy team now. 4 against 1. So they've done a fantastic job to get the scores back down to this level after they were underneath. And oh, go for the lower plate. Just missed the opportunity there. Goes for the side. 320. It's a good shot. Now, that 4502 is looking in this direction. That's a destructible bomb. And that's a kill shot. Wins the game. Whew, that was tough. Nice work there by Evil Viking. And let's have a look at the end of battle stats for this one. Oh my god, it's a first class tanker for Evil Viking in the Object 140. But he did get a spotter badge for getting at least 1,000 hit points of spotting damage. A bruiser medal for getting at least 5 critical hits. He got 9, and most of that was probably down to the HE he was firing. He also got a duelist badge for taking down 2 tanks that did damage to him during the battle. A 5 for effect for doing more damage than the hit points of his own vehicle. A shell proof for blocking more damage than the hit points of his own vehicle. And here's the good ones. He got a defender when he reset the cap on the E50M. He also got a Confederate for hitting more of the enemy than anyone else on his team. And lastly, he got a steel wall. He blocked at least 1,000 hit points of potential damage, received at least 11 hits, and survived to the battle in the end. And a fantastic round of fighting there from Evil Viking, because he actually did do a lot of work. You can see he was always working, trying to work out which direction he needs to be aiming at next, trying to use the ground to his best advantage. It's such a low tank, the Object 140. Obviously it's the tank that the project was supposed to be the replacement for the T-54, ended up being the Object 430 when the Object 140 was cancelled. But he really showed that this tank is very, very good. It is the Tier 10 Soviet medium. It's a very effective little tank. But just look at that, and a lovely row of epic medals for the player. Let's have a look at the team score. Well, there you can see he got the highest damage in the game, 4,395 hit points. No high caliber though, might not have been 20% of the enemy total. But the next highest score on his own team was the TVP T5051, managed to get 3,528, and the 121 managed to get 3,271, but neither of those survived the battle. When it came to kills, it was actually the Striv 103 on his own team who managed to get 4 kills, and some of those I think were defending their own cap area at the end of the battle. Then Evil Viking came in with 3, and then there's a whole bunch of tanks with 2 kills. The Object 430, the AMX 1390 on the enemy team, and the Waffenträger. When it came to base XP, it was Evil Viking who managed to bet the best score, 1,190 base XP. The next highest scorer was the Striv 103 with 822, and then the Wizzy 120 with 790. Let's have a look at detail report. Well, we can see that he fired 41 shots during that battle. He got 26 direct hits, 17 penetrations. I think a lot of those missed shots were fired at the Striv, and they went right over the top of him because he was trying very, very hard not to get shot by the Striv, who was being very, very accurate. And that Striv did get some shots into him during that battle, but 26 and 17, that's not so bad. I think some of the targets he was firing at were very difficult to penetrate, especially that 4502, because that cupola, it was virtually impossible to get through, but once he actually had the side of the vehicle, no problem at all. He did damage of 4,395 hit points, and 1,260 of those were at more than 300 meters. So you can see a lot of it was close range stuff. He received 13 hits during the battle. 4 of them were direct penetrations, and 9 were non-penetrations. He also blocked damage of 3,070 hit points. He spotted 2 enemy vehicles, damaged 10 of the enemy, killed 3 of them, and did damage assistance of 2,801 hit points. That's why he got the spotter, his assistance help by spotting the enemy team. He was actually further forward than most of the guys who were sitting behind him taking shots at the enemy. He actually got 91 defense points when he reset the cap using on the 50, and he did it in a nice way as well by getting him and getting a tracking shot as well to actually hold him in place, so he could then be destroyed and used as a wreck as cover for taking on the 4502. On a premium account, he earned 86,441 credits, and this is from a standard tank, not a premium tank. 86,441. And after repair, ammunition resupply and consumables, he actually took away 14,875. Now, that ammunition cost was rather high, but it should be noted that he didn't actually carry any premium rounds. It was actually the fact that he used a lot of ammo during that battle, a great deal of it, virtually all of his magazine, and that's strongly in his favour, the fact that he didn't use heat, because it was available to him, but he didn't load it, and so he just used the HE or the APCR instead, which is the standard ammo. So it took away 14,875. and he received 1,785 XP, 893 off the personal reserves bonus that he had running, and 357 for playing in the platoon. So he took away 3,035 experience points altogether in that battle. So very, very good battle there, and he did do a lot of work, a great deal of work, trying to pin down those enemies at the end of the game. And it certainly did help that he took out some of the enemy tanks like the STB and the 4502 at the end. That T49 as well was a bit of a nuisance. He got 3 shots into him in total during that game, 706 hit points of damage. But most of those shots were actually struck on the T49 where he was on the center line whilst he was actually spotting for his team. So, great round, Evil Viking. Thanks for sending in this replay. We do enjoy watching these replays in ordinary tanks because it also teaches us how to actually play these tanks to our best advantage. So, if you enjoyed this replay, please give it a like and do subscribe to our channel, and hopefully it'll be your replay that I'll be featuring in the next video.